I have 5 ex-wives, each more stunning than the last. I have 5 stunningly beautiful ex-wives. They loved me, hated me, helped me, and caused me trouble. Little did they know, I have become invincible. Back then, I hurt them, and I swore I would spend my life protecting them. But now, I found my true love, and she's quite the jealous type. There's nothing more I can teach you. Go down the mountain and trouble your fiancée. She possesses the rare and supreme, heavenly noble lady, constitution, the perfect antidote to your Heavenly Fiend Lone Star curse. The two of you are destined to be together. Now, your 5 ex-wives have all achieved greatness. The first, the top female war goddess of the Dragon Kingdom, commander of the Imperial Guard. The second, an international film star. The third, a business prodigy with countless companies under her name. The fourth, a world-class master appraiser and antique restoration expert. The fifth, the world's top hacker. They are both your greatest allies and your greatest tribulations. The mystery of your identity lies in the capital. Remember, do not enter the capital until the Heavenly Fiend curse is resolved and you become an imperial physician. Otherwise, you will meet a grim fate. In a dilapidated temple on Qingyun Mountain, Luo Yin, having returned from a bounty mission, looked at the letter his master left behind and could hardly believe it. He recalled his master telling him that he was born under the cursed, Heavenly Fiend Lone Star, the most dangerous of them all. At birth, disaster struck his family, the ancestral home was burned to the ground, and his parents mysteriously disappeared in the fire, their fates unknown. If not for his master's intervention, he would have perished in the flames. After turning 18, his master sought 5 women with the Heavenly Noble Lady constitution, yet none could dissolve his Heavenly Fiend curse and almost died in the process. Resolving his curse, finding his parents, and compensating his 5 ex-wives had become Luo Yin's lifelong wish. Now that the cure had been found, his dream was about to come true. Luo Yin was thrilled and could hardly wait. Suddenly, he rushed to the kitchen. The old man was stingy and wouldn't leave a single coin of the bounty for him. But as the saying goes, the higher the mountain, the tougher the devil. Following such a tricky master, if Luo Yin hadn't surpassed him, he would have been tricked to death by now. The rice sack was there, the rice was there, but the money was gone. Old man, you've got guts. Luo Yin gritted his teeth and hurriedly rushed into his master's room. Crawling under the bed, he pried open a floor tile, revealing an iron box. Luo Yin was smug indeed, the most dangerous place was the safest. Opening the box, Luo Yin was stunned. Where were his 100,000 yuan? Inside the box was half a jade pendant and a note. Little brat, you're still too young to challenge me. Take the engagement jade and scram. Don't come back until you've made something of yourself. Old bastard, you'll die a miserable death. Luo Yin cursed, his handsome face twisted in anger. Bam! He smashed the solid wood bed into pieces with a slap. In Qin City, Luo Yin arrived, dirty and disheveled, with tears in his eyes. The flight had been cancelled, the train delayed, the ferry broke down, his wallet was stolen, and he was even falsely accused by a random passerby. After enduring the 81 challenges set by his ex-wives, he finally reached his destination. The gates of the Qin family villa stood open. Dr. Jin, as long as my father is fine, the Qin family will give up everything. Grandpa Jin, please, you must save my grandfather. In the living room, the 80-year-old patriarch of the Qin family, Qin Dingbang, lay unconscious on the floor. Jin Siken, a renowned national physician, was performing acupuncture on him. In the room were a middle-aged couple, the man exuding authority, the woman delicate and demure. They were Qin Dingbang's son, Qin Yuanxian, and his wife, Zhu Jiruor. There was also a young woman, with a graceful figure, skin like jade, and an unparalleled beauty. She was Qin Muhuan, Luo Yin's betrothed, as arranged by his master. At this moment, Qin Muhuan's eyes were swollen from crying as she looked at her pale-faced grandfather. Jin Siken reassured them confidently, "Don't worry, it's an old condition, he'll be fine shortly." At that moment, none of them noticed a young man standing at the doorway. Luo Yin glanced at the old man on the floor and was shocked. The poison had reached all 6 of his vital organs. He didn't have much time left. It seemed the old physician hadn't realized that the old man had been poisoned. To be fair, it was a rare, colorless, odorless, slow-acting poison that even hospitals couldn't detect. Whoever poisoned him was no ordinary person. The Qin family had clearly offended someone powerful. With just a glance, Luo Yin had already figured out who was who in the room. The 36 meridian acupuncture technique is decent, but you've misdiagnosed the condition. Not only will this not help, but it will also hasten Mr. Qin's death. The sudden voice startled everyone in the room. They all turned to see the young man. Luo Yin's eyes were on Qin Muhuan. Although his 5 ex-wives were all breathtakingly beautiful, even he had to admit that Qin Muhuan truly was the epitome of grace and nobility, a rare beauty. "Young man, who are you looking for?" Zhu Jiruo asked kindly. Looking at the gentle, still charming woman with a figure as good as Qin Muhuan's, Luo Yin couldn't help but feel some admiration for his future mother-in-law. "My name is Luo Yin. I've come to fulfill the marriage agreement." As he spoke, he pulled out half of the jade pendant. The 3 members of the Qin family were shocked. So this was the man the old master had chosen. All eyes scrutinized Luo Yin. He was dressed in simple, rustic clothes, with cloth shoes on his feet. Although spotless, his appearance was old-fashioned and unimpressive. Jin Siken gave Luo Yin a few curious glances. How did a prominent family like the Qins end up choosing a country boy for their daughter? "Young man, since you recognize the 36 meridian acupuncture, I assume you're also in the same profession. But how are you so sure I've misdiagnosed the case?" Jin Siken was visibly displeased. His medical skills had never been questioned. Were it not for the fact that this boy was the Qin family's future son-in-law, he wouldn't have been so polite. "Dr. Jin, don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about," Qin Yuanxiang said, his face darkening as he pointed to the door and said to Luo Yin, "I do not approve of this marriage. Leave now. A toad wishing to eat swan meat. How presumptuous, get out." Qin Muhuan's cold face was filled with annoyance. She had no time for marriage, especially not to such a simple man. Luo Yin expected this reaction and remained calm. "Qin Muhuan, I am the supreme, Heavenly Fiend Lone Star, and you are the supreme, Heavenly Noble Lady. We are a perfect match. I bring disaster to those around me, while you shorten your own lifespan. If we don't unite, you will die by the age of 30. Only together can we break the curse. Ridiculous. And I say you won't live through the night. Get out of here, you fraud." Qin Muhuan was furious, having never heard such nonsense. "Har." Jin Siken laughed in disbelief. Old Qin must have been fooled by superstition. Ignoring Qin Muhuan's fury, Luo Yin turned to Jin Siken. "If you complete the 36 needles, Mr. Qin will be dead within 5 minutes. You dare curse my grandfather?" Qin Muhuan was livid. She had seen shameless people before, but this took the cake. Just because the marriage failed, now he is cursing? "If you continue to insult us, you won't leave Qin City alive. Get out now." Qin Yuanxiang was furious. Jin Siken was also growing impatient. Old Qin must be out of his mind to bring such disgrace to the family. Zhu Jiruo tried to mediate. Whatever the case, it's still a marriage arranged by the old master. Let us wait until he wakes up before deciding. "Come on, Luo Yin, let us go downstairs and wait," Zhu Jiruo said kindly, though both Qin Yuanxiang and Qin Muhuan were exasperated. Downstairs in the living room, Zhu Jiruo placed a cup of tea in front of Luo Yin. "Luo Yin, your uncle has a temper, and Muhuan has been spoiled by us. Don't take it to heart." Luo Yin said, "Auntie, do you know why dogs aren't afraid of humans?" Zhu Jiruo was taken aback. Why was he talking about dogs now? Shaking her head, she asked, "Why?" Luo Yin replied, "Dogs have fewer cone cells and a longer reflex arc in their choroid layer. So, what they see is like an aerial view from an airplane." Zhu Jiruo was stunned. Did he just call her husband and daughter blind dogs? She couldn't help but laugh despite herself. This boy may look simple, but he wasn't one to be easily bullied. "Luo Yin, is it true that Dr. Jin can't cure the old master?" she asked. Luo Yin nodded. "He is good, but he is just an ordinary person. There are some things he can't see." Zhu Jiruo was puzzled by his confidence. "Are you a doctor?" "You're not ordinary. I practice both medicine and martial arts. It's fate that brought me to the Qin family, and the old master's time hasn't come yet. If you didn't believe in me, I wouldn't intervene. My family's code has 6 rules, No treatment without trust, no treatment without faith, no treatment for evil people, no treatment for enemies, no treatment for those whose time has come, no treatment for those cursed by heaven. Ju Jiruo was speechless. 6 rules. This boy didn't he seem very reliable? Father. Grandpa. Suddenly, 2 startled voices came from upstairs. Luo Yin immediately rushed upstairs. Before he even reached the bedroom door, the smell of blood hit his nose. Inside the bedroom, Qin Dingbang's chest was stained with blood, and it kept pouring from his mouth. Jin Siken was in a panic, flustered and helpless. He couldn't stop the bleeding, and Qin Muwan was crying in fear. Qin Yuanxiang was at a loss. Dr. Jin, what is happening? I don't know. Jin Siken was sweating profusely. Could it be that the boy was right? Move. Luo Yin rushed in. What are you doing? Qin Yuanxiang blocked him. What do you think? I'm saving him. Luo Yin roughly pushed Qin Yuanxiang aside. Qin Muwan tried to stop him. I don't want your help. Luo Yin pushed her aside too. Men handle important matters. Stay out of it. Qin Muwan was speechless. This guy was a chauvinist on top of everything else. Chapter 2, Miraculous Hands Reviving the Dying. Yuanxiang, Muwan, let him try. Ju Jiruo, who had just caught up, gasped as she urged. You, move aside too. Luo Yin said to Jin Siken. Jin Siken didn't he move. If you want to intervene, how do you prove you're a doctor? Prove what? This is not the time for that. Luo Yin grabbed Jin Siken by the collar, lifted him effortlessly, and gently placed him to the side. If not for Jin Siken's age, Luo Yin would ve thrown him down the stairs. The old man was on the brink of death, and he wanted to check credentials. This display of strength shocked Qin Yuanxiang and the others. Jin Siken, who was nearly 6 feet tall and weighed at least 150 pounds, was lifted like a child. If old Master Qin dies, I won't be responsible. Jin Siken shouted angrily, furious at Luo Yin's rudeness. Luo Yin sneered. Aren't you just trying to dodge responsibility? Jin Sichen's face turned red. He was indeed trying to avoid the blame. If he killed the patient, his reputation would be ruined. Suddenly, Luo Yin swept his hand across, pulling out all the silver needles Jin Siken had placed at once. This move left the Qin family and Jin Siken stunned again. For some reason, they all started to feel a glimmer of hope. A silver needle slipped from Luo Yin's sleeve, and in an instant, he inserted it into Qin Dingbang's Shuahai acupuncture point. Then, with fluid precision, Luo Yin's hands moved, placing needle after needle on Qin Dingbang's body. Suddenly, he flicked his fingers, and all the needles began to tremble gently. The hum they produced was like a harmonious melody, pleasant to the ears. Before long, Qin Dingbang stopped coughing up blood, and his pale face slowly regained some color. Jin Sichen's eyes widened in disbelief, clutching his chest. Is this the legendary 6 Meridian Divine Needles? You are the 6. Shut up. Luo Yin scolded. Jin Siken immediately covered his mouth, though his mind was in turmoil. Indeed, this cannot be said aloud. The 6-fingered divine doctor is a reclusive master. Years ago, Jin Siken had been fortunate enough to witness the 6-fingered divine doctor save someone. It was truly miraculous, bringing people back from the brink of death. Luo Yin suddenly extended his hand towards Jin Siken. Arsenic. What? Everyone was stunned. Qin Muwan panicked. So you really do intend to kill my grandfather? Just a moment ago, she had started to trust Luo Yin. Qin Yuanxiang's face darkened. Who sent you? Using arsenic in treatment. What kind of joke was this? Wasn't this outright murder? Luo Yin ignored them and continued to extend his hand toward Jin Siken. The poison has penetrated deep into the bones. Only arsenic can cure it. We have half a minute left. Poisoned? Everyone was shocked. Jin Siken was the most astonished. He hadn't detected any signs of poisoning. After hesitating briefly, Jin Siken gritted his teeth, took out a small porcelain bottle from his medical kit, and handed it to Luo Yin. By now, Jin Siken was certain that this young man must be a disciple of the 6-fingered divine doctor, as the master never passed on his medical skills lightly. Dr. Jin. Qin Yuanxiang was shocked to see Jin Siken comply so readily. Jin Sikhen replied, I'm sorry. I can't save your father anymore. His words implied that at this point, they had no choice but to treat the hopeless as though there was hope. Luo Yin had already opened the bottle, dipped a needle into it, and then inserted it straight into Qin Dingbang's forehead. R. Qin Dingbang suddenly let out a painful scream and trembled violently. Qin Yuanxiang, Qin Muhuan, and Zhu Jiruo's faces turned pale. I'll fight you to the death. Qin Muhuan, having reached her limit, lunged at Luo Yin, unable to watch her grandfather suffer any longer. Suddenly, Zhu Jiruo grabbed her. Muhuan, look. They saw the needle in Qin Dingbang's Shuahai acupuncture point quickly turning black as ink. Luo Yin, without turning around, extended his hand toward Jin Sikhen again. This time, Jin Sikhen immediately understood and handed Luo Yin an empty medicine jar. Luo Yin swiftly removed the needle from Qin Dingbang's Shuahai point. Swoosh! A stream of black blood shot out, and Luo Yin had already positioned the jar to catch it. The black blood landed perfectly in the jar. Luo Yin flipped his hand and handed the jar to Jin Sikhen. Seal it. Yes. At this point, Jin Sikhen obediently followed orders like a schoolboy. Qin Dingbang's condition stabilized, and his breathing became even and calm. The entire Qin family was speechless, wide-eyed with disbelief. Qin Muhuan, while shocked, stared at Luo Yin with complicated emotions. It seemed that her grandfather had indeed chosen someone with real skill. However, she had always dreamt of a passionate love story, not an arranged marriage. Besides, this man had been married 5 times. Yet, knowing her grandfather's stubbornness, escaping this marriage seemed impossible. Suddenly, Qin Dingbang gasped and opened his eyes. Grandpa, you're awake. Qin Muhuan cried tears of joy. Did I pass out again? Thank you, Dr. Jin, for pulling me back from the gates of death once more. Seeing Jin Sikhen, Qin Dingbang assumed it was his old illness acting up again. Jin Sikhen, feeling deeply ashamed, said, Old Qin, I misdiagnosed you. I nearly killed you. The person who saved you wasn't me, it was him. With that, he glanced respectfully at Luo Yin. Qin Dingbang was shocked. Dr. Jin, misdiagnose. He looked at Luo Yin with astonishment. And you are? He had never met Luo Yin. The marriage arrangement had been made privately between him and Luo Yin's master. Luo Yin bowed respectfully. Grandpa Qin, my name is Luo Yin. My master sent me to fulfill the marriage agreement. With that, he produced the jade token. Luo Yin? You finally come. Qin Dingbang, who had clearly been anticipating this moment, became excited and tried to sit up. Luo Yin quickly stopped him. Grandpa Qin, you need to rest now. Qin Dingbang glanced behind Luo Yin. Did your master come? Luo Yin replied, he's off traveling. Qin Dingbang looked a bit disappointed, then turned to Qin Muhuan with a warm smile. Muhuan, Luo Yin is here. Go register your marriage immediately. Grandpa. Qin Muhuan protested, clearly unwilling. Father, Muhuan is your beloved granddaughter. You can't push her into the fire like this, Qin Yuanxiang tried to argue, still hoping to marry his daughter into another influential family. Qin Dingbang's face darkened. I'm not dead yet. It's not your place to decide. Qin Muhuan, you're 25 already, and you only have 5 more years left. If you wait any longer, it will be too late. Go now. Grandpa, that's just superstition. You need to believe in science. Are you going or not? Cough, cough, cough. Qin Dingbang began to cough, blood appearing in his phlegm. Grandpa. I'll go, okay? Qin Muhuan, not daring to argue any further, stomped her foot and ran out of the room. Qin Dingbang looked at Luo Yin like a precious treasure. Go quickly. I know you're a good, honest man, but be careful. That girl's quite clever, don't let her trick you. Zhu Jiruo couldn't help but laugh through her tears. How do you see him as an honest man? Grandpa Qin, someone tried to poison you. The poison is called Special 7, and it's available on the black market, Luo Yin warned. Qin Dingbang's face darkened. Chapter 3, This is Fate's Arrangement. At the villa entrance, a black 918 was already in place, its engine roaring. Clearly, Miss Qin was very angry. Luo Yin got into the car. Qin Mu Wan slammed the accelerator, and the 918 shot out like an arrow. Qin Mu Wan gritted her teeth, realizing that she couldn't escape the arranged marriage fate. The world may be vast, but Grandpa is the greatest. As a dutiful granddaughter deeply concerned about her grandfather, she feared the worst if something happened to him. How much would it cost for you to call off the marriage? Qin Mu Wan suddenly asked. She was ready to throw money at this country bumpkin to make him go away. Luo Yin glanced at her coldly. Miss Qin, this is fate's arrangement. You can't escape it. Qin Mu Wan ground her teeth. Even if we get the marriage certificate, you better not touch me. Luo Yin nodded. Don't worry, I won't force you. I'll make you fall in love with me, deeply and utterly. Qin Mu Wan was so enraged she almost laughed. Where does this guy get his confidence? At the marriage registration office, Qin Mu Wan suddenly exclaimed, I left my bag in the car, with my ID and household register inside. Wait for me. She turned to leave. Luo Yin grinned and said, I have it. He then handed her a brown LV bag. He added, if you return empty-handed and Grandpa doesn't see the marriage certificate, you know the consequences. Qin Mu Wan's plan to escape was thwarted, and she was fuming. There weren't many people at the registration office today, so the process was completed quickly. Back at the villa, Jin Siken had already left. Qin Dingbang looked as if he had never been ill, full of energy. After carefully reviewing the marriage certificate and personally calling the registration office to confirm, he finally smiled contentedly. Qin Mu Wan broke into a cold sweat, realizing she had nearly resorted to using a fake certificate. Indeed, Grandpa was not so easily deceived. Qin Dingbang, beaming with joy, said, Jiruor, tidy up Mu Wan's room. They can start living together now that they've got the certificate. Grandpa! Qin Mu Wan cried out in shock. Dad! Even if they have the certificate, the wedding hasn't been held yet, Qin Yuanxiang quickly intervened. You can divorce after getting the certificate. If they slept together now, it would be irreversible. Qin Dingbang was adamant. The wedding can wait until I'm better. Qin Mu Wan looked to her father for help. Her mother always blindly followed Grandpa and wouldn't speak up for her. But Qin Yuanxiang, fearing to upset the old man, said nothing. Qin Mu Wan realized there was no changing it, and shot a fierce glare at Luo Yin. Grandpa, my cousin Ruo Qing's birthday is tomorrow, and she asked me to help. I'm leaving. She wanted to escape this predicament. Qin Dingbang, shrewd as ever, said, perfect. Take Luo Yin to meet Ruo Qing. Go together. Qin Mu Wan felt despair, her anger focused on Luo Yin. Unexpectedly, Luo Yin remained shameless. Don't worry, Grandpa. I will take good care of Mu Wan. He even smiled lewdly. Qin Mu Wan was so enraged she turned to leave. Luo Yin followed closely. As the 918 left the villa, Qin Mu Wan's face was cold as ice. My grandfather's health is fragile. I don't want to upset him. Scum, I warn you, don't get any delusions. A marriage certificate doesn't mean much. Luo Yin replied calmly, don't worry. I won't touch you before you willingly give yourself to me. Qin Mu Wan wanted to stomp on the accelerator. He even wants me to willingly give myself to him. Dream on. Qin Mu Wan contemplated how to get rid of this scum. There was no way she was going to take such a rural loser to meet her cousin. She would be mocked to death by her cousin. She needed to figure out how to ditch this scum with her cousin's help. Tomorrow, her grandfather would surely make this scum accompany her to the birthday party. She couldn't afford to be embarrassed. It was rumored that Xu Xifeng, the heir of Xu Group, would also be there. The four major construction giants in Xinjiang included the Xu family and the Qin family. The Qin family was the weakest and had not yet gone public. Now, there was a new competitor, the largest construction leader in Jiangsu, the Mu family. Their influence could easily crush the four major giants of Xinjiang. The Mu family's current strategic target was the weakest Qin family. They had already discussed with her father about acquiring the Qin group. How could the Qin group possibly be sold? At this moment, making friends with the Xu family was like finding a powerful ally for the Qin family. Stop at the clinic ahead. You go about your business, you don't need to wait for me, Luo Yin suddenly said. Qin Mu Wan was incredulous. You're not coming with me. Luo Yin replied, I assume you don't want me to come, right? Qin Mu Wan hesitated. Scum, you're not planning to go back and complain about me to my grandfather, are you? Luo Yin was speechless. I'm not as nasty as you think. Then how will you explain it if you go back? Qin Mu Wan was still concerned. Luo Yin said, I'll just say that you didn't want me to go with you. Qin Mu Wan was furious. Scum, you really have bad intentions. If you dare speak ill of me, I'll show you my methods. Luo Yin asked, what methods? Bedroom skills. Before Qin Mu Wan could react, Luo Yin had already opened the door, gotten out, and walked away swiftly. Qin Mu Wan was enraged. At least this scum had some self-awareness. If he had followed her, she would have been in real trouble. Inside the clinic, a few patients were present, a middle-aged couple and a young woman were busy. Are you here to see a doctor or get medicine? The young woman smiled with two dimples. Mr. Luo. Jin Sikhen suddenly emerged from the back. Luo Yin hadn't expected this to be Jin Sikhen's clinic. Dr. Jin, I came to get some herbs. What herbs does Mr. Luo need? Jin Sikhen now showed great respect for Luo Yin. Luo Yin handed Jin Sikhen a prescription. This is my granddaughter, Jin Ming, Jin Sikhen introduced. This is Brother Luo Yin. Hello, Brother Luo Yin. Jin Ming greeted and quickly went to fetch the medicine. The middle-aged couple were Jin Sikhen's son Jin Jingtai and his daughter-in-law Shushan. Jin Sikhen led Luo Yin to the back room and offered him tea. Mr. Luo, I've never seen or heard of the poison that old Master Qin was afflicted with. Jin Sikhen sought advice humbly. Luo Yin explained, it's a black technology toxin, artificially synthesized. It's colorless, tasteless, and invisible. It poisons through skin contact. Jin Sikhen was taken aback. Mr. Luo, I heard that the leading construction company in Jiangsu, the richest Mu family, is looking to acquire the Qin family, Shu family, and Yu family's construction companies. But none of the three families are willing to yield. Jin Sikhen didn't finish, but the implication was clear, it was likely the Mu family's doing. Luo Yin was startled. The Mu family from Jiangsu. Suddenly, he took out his phone and dialed. Mu Yu, are you tired of living? The Qin group belongs to my wife's family. You dare poison Qin Dingbang? A trembling voice came from the other end. Mr. Luo, I didn't poison anyone. I really didn't know about the Qin family's connection with you. I will have my Mu family leave Qincheng immediately, okay? Please don't be angry. Luo Yin responded, I know you wouldn't dare. Besides the Qin family, feel free to do as you please. With that, he hung up the phone. He suddenly noticed Jin Sikhen staring at him, wide-eyed in shock. Chapter 4, A Con Man from the Jianghu. Ro Yin's phone was ancient, and the call was as clear as if it were on speakerphone. Everyone nearby could hear every word. At this moment, Jin Sichen was stunned beyond belief. The son-in-law of the Qin family was quite impressive. Even the wealthiest man in Jiangsu, Mu Yu, was acting meekly in front of this young man. Ro Yin frowned in contemplation. If it's not the Mu family, then who could it be? Jin Sichen forced a smile. I don't know. He suddenly asked cautiously, Mr. Ro, may I ask you for a favor? Ro Yin replied, I don't take apprentices. Jin Sichen was taken aback. He hadn't even said anything yet, and Ro Yin already knew. At this time, Jin Ming returned with a bag of medicine. Ro Yin took the bag and said, I don't have any money, you'll have to get it from my father-in-law later. Jin Sichen was left speechless. Jin Ming covered her mouth and chuckled softly, finding Ro Yin genuinely straightforward. Father, father. Suddenly, Jin Sichen's daughter-in-law, Shushan, rushed into the courtyard, looking anxious. Father, old man Qi is here again. Jin Sichen's expression changed. Didn't I tell him? I can't cure his father's cancer either. Shushan said, he said if you can't cure it, he'll smash our sign. Jin Sichen was furious. How outrageous. Even if his father is the president of the Jiangcheng Chamber of Commerce, he shouldn't act so unreasonable. Ro Yin suddenly asked, Qi Lao-san, Qi Zhenjing? His father is Qi Yuman. Jin Sichen trembled and asked, Mr. Ro, you wouldn't know him too, would you? Ro Yin said, let us go see. Jin Sichen was overjoyed. The Qi family was indeed a force he couldn't mess with. Inside the clinic, patients had been chased away by a group of burly men. A towering man sat confidently on a chair, looking very imposing. Jin Siqing's son, Jin Jingtai, stood before him, trembling. Third Master, cancer is a problem that cannot be overcome. My father really can't be treated. Please don't make things difficult for us. Qi Zhenjing, with his bull-like eyes glaring, said, if it can't be treated, what kind of godly doctor is this? Jin Jingtai replied, that's what others call him. Qi Zhenjing sneered, I haven't seen your father refuse anyone calling him that. Jin Jingtai was left speechless. Qi Lao-san, you're quite impressive. Suddenly, a voice came from the doorway. Thud. Before Qi Zhenjing could see who it was, he was already on his knees, saying, Master, is that you? Qi Lao-san was known as a notorious troublemaker in Jiangcheng, and yet he was kneeling. Even Qi Lao-san's subordinates looked surprised at the figure in the doorway. Ro Yin walked in with calm confidence. Master, it really is you. Qi Zhenjing was trembling all over, unsure if it was from fear or excitement. Did you forget my warning? Ro Yin's expression darkened. Qi Zhenjing shivered, Master, how could I forget? But my father is dying. If he dies, won't those I've offended come after me like I bullied them? Ro Yin remained silent. A long time ago, Qi Zhenjing, with a few friends, was showing off on the streets and nearly got killed by a tough opponent. Ro Yin happened to pass by, saw him risking his life to protect his friends, and saved him. Thus, he met the richest man in Jiangcheng, Qi Laozi. Now, Qi Lao-san, who was kneeling on the ground, suddenly grinned broadly, Master, you said if we met again, you would take me as your apprentice. This time, you can't run away. With that, he tightly hugged Ro Yin's legs. Ro Yin was both amused and helpless. He had indeed said that. Apologize to old man Jin. Ro Yin said. Yes. Qi Lao-san was thrilled, releasing Ro Yin and getting up to apologize to everyone. Jin Siqing was feeling disgruntled. Why can a clueless second-generation heir become Mr. Ro's apprentice, but he can't? After apologizing, Qi Lao-san grabbed Ro Yin and said, Master, let us go quickly. Ro Yin asked, where to? Qi Lao-san answered matter-of-factly, to treat my father. I'm your apprentice now, and my father is like your father, you can't ignore him. Ro Yin said. What a mess. Ro Yin said, Old man Jin, let him cover the losses for today. Qi Lao-san hurriedly said, I'll pay, double. No need, no need. It's not a big loss, Jin Siqing said, afraid to ask for compensation, just not having them come again was enough. Ro Yin got into Qi Lao-san's pagani and left. Jin Siqing watched the departing pagani, deeply shocked. Can Mr. Ro really cure cancer? At the Jiangcheng Tumor Hospital, in the VIP ward, there was a lot of crying. The doctor had just announced that Qi Yuman's cancer cells had spread, leading to multiple organ failures, and that treatment should be stopped. Qi Yuman, who was as thin as a reed, had lost consciousness. His wife, Li Shuyu, and daughter, Qi Yushan, were crying loudly. His eldest son, Qi Zhenhai, and second son, Qi Zhenhe, were also very sad. They had relied on their father's influence to dominate the business world. Once he was gone, who would still consider them important? Dad. Suddenly, Qi Lao-san rushed in, excited. Third son, come and see your father for the last time. Li Shuyu wiped her tears, calling her third son. Qi Lao-san, however, was in high spirits. Why are you all crying? My dad isn't he going to die? Li Shuyu scolded, you usually act so recklessly, but now is not the time for that. Old san, even in this situation, you're still running around. Do you even care about your father? Qi Zhenhai said angrily. Qi Zhenhe sneered, big brother, old san is just like that, you can't control him. How can he listen to you? Enough, can't you stop arguing at a time like this? Qi Yushan, with red eyes, glared at Qi Zhenjing. Qi Lao-san knew he wasn't favored at home, so he didn't argue with them. Turning around, he respectfully addressed Ro Yin, Master. Li Shuyu and the others only then noticed someone at the door. Qi Zhenhai asked, who is he? Qi Zhenhe said, Old san. Where did you find this con man from the Jianghu? Qi Yushan glanced at Ro Yin and said, Old san, can't you be more serious? How many times have you been fooled? If you must find someone, get someone older to deceive us. Qi Lao-san looked at Ro Yin with eager eyes. Ro Yin, however, ignored everyone and focused on Qi Yuman in bed. Liver cancer. The cancer cells had almost infected all the lymphocytes in his body. The brain and heart had not been completely invaded yet. Fortunately, it was timely. At most by tomorrow morning, it would be fatal. Ro Yin said, "It can be treated." Har har har, I told you my master could cure it. Qi Lao-san proudly glanced at his siblings. Can it really be treated? Li Shuyu's shattered hope ignited again. Qi Jinhe sneered, "Mom, old San brought this person every so-called divine doctor he finds says they can cure it. Has anyone actually cured Dad?" Qi Yushin frowned, "Old San, if you want to show filial piety, find someone more reliable. He's not even older than me. Even if he studied medicine, how capable can he be?" Qi Jinhe said, "Nonsense, both of you, get out." Ro Yin said, "Noisy. Old San, throw them out." Chapter 5, The Destiny Change Needle. When Master speaks, Qi Lao-san listens attentively. "Get everyone out except my mother," Qi Lao-san ordered. Several burly men came in and dragged Qi Jinhe and his brothers out, despite their protests. "San Li Shuyu was flustered. "Mom. Don't worry, my master is far better than that old thing, Jin Sichin." Li Shuyu was at a loss. But with her husband already given up on by the hospital, what could be worse? "San go to the Jin family's place and fetch some Chinese herbs," Luo Yin suddenly said. "Got it." Qi Lao-san was about to leave. Luo Yin sighed, "Do you know what to fetch?" Qi Lao-san scratched his head, embarrassed. Luo Yin said, "Earthworm, mole cricket, centipede, one of each, and they must be alive, at least 5 years old. Gansui, Xingdi, Zexi, they must be 10 years or older." Qi Lao-san looked troubled. "Master, I can't remember all that." Luo Yin. "Call Jin Sichin." "I'll tell him." Qi Lao-san hurriedly called Jin Sichin. Suddenly, there was a commotion outside the door. Several doctors and security guards burst in. Turns out, Qi Jinhe had complained to the doctors. "You have some nerve. Bringing a fraud into the hospital. Do you even have a medical license?" Dr. Zhao Tuor glared at Luo Yin. Doctors despise frauds the most. They tarnish the profession's reputation. Luo Yin calmly said, "Have your hospital director, Shen Qinya, come see me." Dr. Zhao Tuor was shocked. "You know our director?" A nurse beside him sneered, "How would you know our director? He's not someone you can just meet." Luo Yin frowned. "Lao-san." Qi Lao-san understood immediately, "Get them all out." A few burly men came in and kicked out the doctors and nurses. "Family members, if something happens, we won't be responsible." Outside the door, Dr. Zhao Tuor shouted. Qi Lao-san sneered, "Quack doctors, get lost." At this moment, Luo Yin had already removed Qi Laoi's clothing. Noticing Qi Lao-san staring with wide eyes, Luo Yin smiled, "Want to learn?" Qi Lao-san nodded vigorously. Luo Yin produced a silver needle from his sleeve. This is the extraordinary needle, also known as the cancer control needle. Luo Yin explained as he worked. Suddenly, he noticed Qi Lao-san staring at his sleeve in a daze. Luo Yin wondered, "What's wrong?" Qi Lao-san asked, "Master, is this a Qian Kuan sleeve?" Luo Yin realized and chuckled, "There's no such thing as a Qian Kuan sleeve, just a mechanism box. I'll get you one later." "Thank you, Master." Qi Lao-san grinned. From then on, Qi Lao-san listened intently and stayed focused. He suddenly asked, "Master, what's this needle technique?" Luo Yin, "This technique is called the Destiny Change Needle. It's a unique technique passed down by your master's grandmaster. Do not disclose it without my permission." Qi Lao-san nodded. Soon, Qi Laoi's face turned rosy, and his breathing became strong. Qi Lao-san was overjoyed, clenching his fists in excitement. He knew his master was omnipotent. "How much did you remember?" Luo Yin asked. Qi Lao-san's face reddened. "Master, you know I'm not very sharp. I only remember that this technique is called the Destiny Change Needle, and I'm not to disclose it without your permission." Luo Yin. Apparently, everything he said before was in vain. But he knew Qi Lao-san wasn't very bright. He needed to treat him sometime. Since he had taken him as a disciple, he couldn't let him ruin his reputation. Though Qi Lao-san was a bit rough around the edges, Luo Yin saw from their first meeting that he was a promising candidate for both medicine and martial arts. However, back then, he wasn't yet officially apprenticed, and his master didn't allow him to take on disciples. Qi Lao-san had suffered a head injury in childhood, impairing his potential, which is why he seemed somewhat dim-witted. In recent years, Luo Yin had been collecting rare medicinal materials. Now, he had gathered them all. Suddenly, hurried footsteps were heard outside, indicating a lot of people were coming. "Stop. Our boss has ordered that no one is allowed in. I am Director Shinchinya. Who wants to see me? Luo Yin, let him in alone." The door opened, and a middle-aged man with graying hair entered, wearing reading glasses, looking like an old scholar. "Mr. Luo." Shinchinya was startled to see Luo Yin. He was instantly excited and flushed with anticipation. Luo Yin nodded. "Qi Laoi is my friend. I'm here to treat him. Don't let anyone disturb me." "Yes," Shinchinya said respectfully. When he saw Qi Laoi's condition, his expression changed drastically. He had approved the decision to abandon treatment earlier. Shinchinya knew the situation very well. Suddenly, Shinchinya realized that if Mr. Luo took action, Qi Laoi would surely be revived. Shinchinya's eyes were filled with hope. "Mr. Luo, may I observe?" "You have no right to learn from my master, you quack." Qi Lao-san fumed. He was furious because the hospital had already abandoned treatment. Shinchinya's face changed dramatically. Mr. Luo actually took this rascal as his disciple. In Qin City, many people knew Qi Lao-san. "Lao-san, don't be rude." Luo Yin glared at Qi Lao-san. Qi Lao-san immediately shut up. "You may observe, but you have no spiritual roots, so you can't learn. You can reference it, but don't use it on people, or it will be fatal." "Yes." Shinchinya was disappointed and shocked, realizing he wasn't as good as this rascal. This rascal actually had spiritual roots. However, observing the master's techniques would still be immensely beneficial. Suddenly, the door opened again, and Jin Siqing, carrying a medicine box with Jin Ming, arrived in person. Luo Yin smiled wryly. Was Jin Siqing also hoping to learn? Indeed, Jin Siqing hesitantly said, "Mr. Luo, may my daughter and I observe?" "Reference is fine, but don't use it on people," Luo Yin reminded again. After Luo Yin finished speaking, he opened the medicine box brought by Jin Siqing. Besides some herbs, there were also 3 glass bottles containing earthworms, mole crickets, and centipedes. The centipede was 3 inches long, with a purple-black body. Luo Yin took out 3 silver needles from his sleeve, inserted them into the air holes of the bottles, and accurately targeted the toxins in the 3 creatures. The 3 creatures twisted in pain. After a moment, the needles turned black. Luo Yin then removed the needles. Earthworms, mole crickets, and centipedes contain toxins with abundant anti-cancer asparaginase. But, up until now, even the best medical equipment can't separate it from the toxins. "But I can." As Luo Yin spoke, suddenly, the 3 black and silver needles emitted a black smoke. In an instant, the needles turned to a light golden color. The light gold gradually retreated towards the needle tips, concentrating at the tips. Now, the needle tips were golden yellow, emitting a faint glow. "Luo Yin, this is asparaginase." Shinchinya, Jin Siqing, and Jin Ming were all stunned. What kind of skill is this? The legendary true energy. No wonder Mr. Luo said they couldn't learn it. Chapter 6 Anti-Wolf Spray. Luo Yin explained, everything has an origin. As long as its potential is stimulated, cancer cure is not a myth. However, cancer originates in lymph. There are tens of billions of lymph in the human body, and current medical equipment cannot detect it at all. "But, I can." As he spoke, he inserted 3 silver needles into the bulging lymph on the side of Qi Yuman's neck at the same time. Jin Siqing, Jin Ming, and Shinchinya were extremely excited. Cancer can actually be cured. This is definitely good news for patients and a milestone in the history of medicine. Qi Lao-san grinned widely, "My master is amazing." Luo Yin waited for about 3 minutes and took off all the silver needles. "The first treatment is over, 11 more treatments are needed." With that said, he looked at Jin Siqing and Shinchinya, "Don't introduce cancer patients to me. The price of changing one's life against fate is too high." This made Jin Siqing and Shinchinya, who had really planned this, very disappointed. Qi Lao-san understood this sentence. He asked with concern, "Master, you saved my father, you won't die, right?" "Luo Yin, it will shorten your lifespan." Plop. Qi Lao-san knelt down to Luo Yin and kowtowed. "Thank you, Master, for saving my dad. You paid for my dad's life. From now on, I will honor you just like I honor my father." Luo Yin quickly pulled Qi Lao-san up. "I was moved in my heart, I saw this guy right. The dual cultivation of medicine and martial arts requires not only spiritual roots, but also quality. Although Qi Lao-san often causes trouble, his quality is not bad. His damaged spiritual roots can also be repaired. It's just that I'm a little older. It would be better if I practiced it from a young age. However, talents are rare. In fact, his master has never met a suitable disciple other than him in these years. Third son, when your father wakes up, you can go home. Take the herbal medicine and decoct it, once a day. Tomorrow, you come to pick me up." "Yes." Qi Lao-san said respectfully. "Luo Yin, please also ask Mr. Jin to prepare 11 medicinal materials according to what is needed today and deliver them to Qi's house." Jin Siken quickly said, "Okay." Luo Yin left without anyone seeing him off. In the Qin family's living room, the Qin family members are all there. All of them looked serious. Qin Muhan is also back. Mr. Qin's face was as gloomy as water. Seeing Luo Yin coming back, Qin Dingbang smiled. The good son-in-law is back. Luo Yin was surprised. What happened? Qin Dingbang's smile disappeared. Someone called to threaten us and asked us to sell the group to the Mu family. Luo Yin understood. No wonder Qin Muhan came back so soon. Qin Yuanxian said angrily, "It must be the Mu family. They have resorted to such methods before achieving their goals." "Luo Yin, it can't be the Mu family. What do you know?" Qin Yuanxiang became angry when he saw Luo Yin. Luo Yin didn't want to see Qin Yuanxiang either and ignored him. Qin Dingbang also said, "The matter is obviously not from the Mu family. Grandpa, I don't feel well. Let's rest first." Qin Muhan didn't want to see this scumbag, let alone his grandfather protecting this scumbag unscrupulously. Went upstairs. "From today on, Luo Yin will protect you personally," Qin Dingbang said. Qin Muhan's body swayed on the stairs and he almost fell down. Zhu Jiruo was worried about her daughter and stood up. "Dad, Luo Yin, I'll go up and stay with Muhan." Qin Dingbang nodded and suddenly glared at Qin Yuanxiang. "I have something to talk to Luo Yin alone, you, avoid it." Qin Yuanxiang. "Leave quickly." "Son-in-law, what do you think?" Qin Dingbang asked. "Luo Yin, those who poison must be those who threaten." "The Mu family," I asked, "it's not them. They will not target the Qin family again." Qin Dingbang was shocked. "Do you know the Mu family?" Luo Yin nodded. "Grandpa, who have you been in contact with recently?" Qin Dingbang thought thoughtfully and said, "In addition to my family, I also met Mu Yu. The day before yesterday, the heads of the Shu family, Shu Hin, invited me to have tea, and they wanted to join forces to fight against the Mu family." Suddenly his expression changed. "Is it the Shu family?" Luo Yin, based on the time when the poison occurred, it should be the Shu family. Qin Dingbang's face turned ugly. "Is the Shu family so vicious?" Luo Yin, leave it to me. Since you are fine, there is no rush to clean up the Shu family. Okay. Qin Dingbang said without hesitation, "You should also worry more about the group's affairs. Yuanxiang and Muhan can't compete with the Shu family." Luo Yin nodded. "Give me some time." Qin Dingbang was happy when he saw Luo Yin agreed. Suddenly he looked around and took out a small blue glass bottle from his pocket. She handed it to Luo Yin mysteriously and lowered her voice. "That girl Muhan has a strong temper. You are too honest. In a short while, you will even go to bed. This medicine is effective as soon as you spray it. She will accept it as if it is cooked rice." Groove. Luo Yin almost killed Mr. Qin with one punch. "Grandpa, are you sure Muhan is your granddaughter?" Qin Dingbang's face turned red. "Aren't I afraid that you would lose patience and run away?" Luo Yin. "Don't worry, I will make Muhan fall in love with me." How could Luo Yin do such a despicable thing? That's good, that's good." Qin Dingbang put away the medicine bottle awkwardly. "You rest here, I'll make some medicine for you." Luo Yin walked into the kitchen with the medicine bag in hand. Qin Dingbang looked at Luo Yin's back, still feeling uneasy, so he got up and went upstairs. Seeing the old man coming up, Zhu Jiruo quickly gave up her seat. Qin Muhan ignored his grandfather, feeling angry in his heart. How can a grandfather force his granddaughter to have a wedding with someone else? Are you still angry with Grandpa? Qin Dingbang asked with a smile. How dare I? Qin Muhan pouted. Qin Dingbang smiled and said, Luo Yin is a peerless expert in medicine and martial arts, and he can resolve your bad luck as a noble man from Tianyi. Grandpa will not lie to you. With that said, he took out the small blue bottle and handed it to Qin Muhan. Qin Muhan wondered, what is this? Qin Dingbang said without blushing, it's for your self-defense. If he dares to bully you, just spray him and make sure he doesn't dare to do it again next time. Qin Muhan was overjoyed, is this anti-wolf spray? Qin Dingbang, yeah, it's colorless and odorless, it's hard to guard against. Thank you, Grandpa. Grandpa is the best to me. Qin Muhan was happy. You two, let's talk. Qin Dingbang left with satisfaction. Zhu Jiruo looked at the little blue bottle and then at her daughter, but stopped talking. The old man wishes the two of them were together. Can he also give his daughter something to defend herself? Although she was suspicious, she didn't dare to ruin the old man's good deeds. Luo Yin walked into the bedroom. Qin Muhan is working in front of the computer. On the white bed, there is a set of men's pajamas. It was obviously prepared for him by the considerate Zhu Jiruo. Luo Yin picked up his pajamas and entered the bathroom. At this time, Qin Muhan, who was pretending to be at work, was already gritting his teeth. How shameless! What a scumbag! Sure enough, scumbags who have been married 5 times are different. Just go take a shower so blatantly. Wow! There was a sound of water in the bathroom. Qin Muhan picked up the teacup and threw it into the bathroom. It's impossible to really smash it, it's just a gesture. However, as he glanced over, his pretty face suddenly turned red. The glass in the bathroom is black, so the people inside are shadowy under the light. But after the glass is washed with water, it becomes much clearer, and you can see the outline of Luo Yin inside. From Qin Muhan's perspective, you can see Luo Yin's latissimus dorsi, chest muscles, deltoid muscles, biceps, triceps, buttocks muscles, all the tendons. Qin Muhan saw this scene for the first time and his face turned red with embarrassment. But she couldn't help but look at her a few more times. Anyway, that scumbag couldn't see her. No wonder this scumbag has been married 5 times. His body really attracts women. Oops. I can't watch it anymore. If I watch it again, I won't be able to sleep at night. Chapter 7, The Hermit. Gulp. Qin Muhan poured the cold coffee in the cup into his stomach to cool down. Continue to work. But, it seems, he can't pretend anymore. He's upset. Qin Muhan got up and hid on the balcony to enjoy the cool breeze. It's estimated that the scumbag should have finished washing, so Qin Muhan went back to the room. Sure enough, there was no sound of water in the bathroom. Where is that guy? Qin Muhan didn't see the scumbag in the room, and suddenly, his eyes fell on the bed. Qin Muhan's phoenix eyes suddenly widened, and he roared like a lion for a long time, Scumbag, who let you get on my bed? Luo Yin lay comfortably in the soft and fragrant quilt, glancing at Qin Muhan. Girl, have you read too many novels? I'm a man. Don't look for me if you want to sleep on the floor. Either I'll give you half of the bed. Or you sleep on the floor. Qin Muhan was furious. She rushed to Luo Yin. This was her bed and her quilt. She didn't care how expensive these things were. Instead, she felt disgusted when this scum touched them, as if he had touched her. She took too big a step and didn't see the water stains on the floor. She did a split and sat on the floor. It almost hurt Qin Muhan to death. You didn't change your slippers. Qin Muhan was sick. He actually wore the slippers in the bathroom, which were wet. What's wrong? Suddenly, 3 people appeared at the door. Zhu Jiruo, Qin Yuanxiang and Qin Dingbang were all attracted by Qin Muhan's lion roar. Luo Yin smiled and said, "It's okay. I'm teaching Muhan to practice yoga." Zhu Jiruo didn't know whether to laugh or cry. You are really good at making up stories. Qin Yuanxiang glared at Luo Yin fiercely, his eyes full of warnings. Qin Dingbang smiled and said, "Lock the door and continue practicing." He stretched out his hand to close the door. Luo Yin. Qin Muhan. Qin Muhan climbed up and went to grab a chair to smash this scum to death. Luo Yin pointed at the door. Qin Muhan was so angry that he trembled and had to give up smashing this guy to death. Suddenly I remembered that I have a small blue bottle for self-defense. He quietly took it out and walked to the head of the bed. Luo Yin looked at her cautiously. "What are you going to do?" Qin Muhan smiled charmingly. "Don't you just want to sleep with me?" "I will do your thing." Suddenly took out the small blue bottle and sprayed it at Luo Yin. Luo Yin was shocked. He waved his hand and the mist rolled back and all fell on Qin Muhan's face. Qin Muhan was dumbfounded. It was bad. He turned around and was about to run. However, he stepped on the scumbag's wet slippers. His feet slipped and he fell on Luo Yin. A man's breath hit him. Instantly, Qin Muhan felt hot all over and couldn't help herself. "It's over. I was fooled by my grandfather." Qin Muhan was desperate. Suddenly, she saw that the scumbag slipped out of his sleeves and stabbed her. She wanted to hide, but she was powerless. Puff puff puff. The silver needle entered her body. The heat quickly subsided. He was saving himself, not taking advantage of others' misfortune. Qin Muhan was stunned as she looked at Luo Yin, who was so close. "What? Are you fascinated by my handsomeness and noble sentiments?" Luo Yin asked with a smile. "Get lost." Qin Muhan stood up quickly. "A good man should not fight with a woman. You sleep on the bed, and I sleep on the floor." Luo Yin got out of bed. "With your personality, you definitely can't have this bed and quilt." Luo Yin said, took off the quilt, threw it on the floor, and lay down directly on it. "Good night." Qin Muhan. The next morning, Luo Yin got up early and prepared to go out to practice. At this moment, Qin Muhan was sleeping soundly. I guess he didn't dare to sleep last night. When Luo Yin went downstairs, he saw Qin Dingbang sitting on the sofa, looking at him with a smile. Luo Yin rolled his eyes. "You are so bad." Qin Dingbang grinned. "It's good to succeed." Luo Yin, "I slept on the floor all night." After saying that, he left. Qin Dingbang was stunned. "Isn't it successful? That medicine doesn't work. Dr. Jin sells fake medicine. There is a riverside park nearby, and there are many people doing morning exercises." Luo Yin found a secluded place and began to practice. The martial arts his master taught him were a set of ancient martial arts that had been lost. It was a combination of hardness and softness, and every move was fatal. When he was excited, Luo Yin jumped up and jumped more than 5 meters high. With one move, he swept through thousands of troops and swept the tree with one leg. The red pine tree, as thick as a thigh, snapped and broke in half. Whoosh! After landing, Luo Yin ran away. He didn't have money to compensate for the tree. This was not Qingyan Mountain, so it didn't matter if he broke more trees. Fortunately, the music of the square dance was very loud, so no one should notice it. In an open space, an old man with white hair and white clothes was coaching a young woman to practice boxing. The woman was slim and good-looking. Luo Yin found that this set of boxing was very sharp, and it was obviously not just for strengthening the body. However, although it was smooth and pleasing to the eye, but it was a defective product. Practicing for a long time would cause great harm to the body. The old man had obviously practiced for decades and had serious internal injuries. The woman had only practiced for a few years and her internal injuries were very minor. If you didn't pay attention, you wouldn't notice it. Suddenly, the woman stopped and glared at Luo Yin. "Don't you know that it's a taboo to spy on other people's martial arts?" Luo Yin smiled faintly. "This set of boxing can't be practiced anymore." The old man and the woman were both stunned. The woman was furious. "Why can't we practice my family's martial arts?" The old man's face also darkened. "Young man, what do you mean?" Luo Yin, "This set of martial arts is not complete. At most, it should be only half of it, right? It's still incomplete. Some places should have been filled in by later generations, right? It looks seamless, but in fact, it's irrelevant and will kill people." The old man's face changed. The woman became even angrier. "Not only did you steal my family's martial arts, but you also slandered my grandfather." As he spoke, he twisted his waist and punched Yun Songhu in the chest with a fierce punch. Luo Yin did not move. The woman was about to hit Luo Yin with a punch. The woman had a good heart and seemed not to want to hurt anyone, so she withdrew a lot of her internal energy. But at least she could knock Luo Yin away. The old man did not stop him, because he also wanted to see how strong this young man who could reveal his Liu family's unique skills was. Suddenly, Luo Yin moved. Bang! He held the woman's fist with one hand and punched at the same time. It was exactly the same as the punch the woman had just made. The woman was surprised. Her speed was not slow, but he attacked later and actually blocked her punch. How could he attack? The woman turned around and turned to Luo Yin's right side, punching Luo Yin's left rib. Luo Yin also turned sideways and punched the woman's right rib. The two fought together. The woman was extremely shocked at this moment, because this person's moves were exactly the same as hers, but he was faster than her. Also, it seemed that some of his moves were different from her family's unique skills and were more fierce. Now, she had no power to fight back except dodging. Luo Yin threw a last punch, knocking the sweaty woman back, and then stopped. Don't practice anymore, it's really deadly. Luo Yin turned and left. The old man was dumbfounded at this moment. Grandpa, why don't you help me teach him a lesson? The woman stamped her feet in anger. Chapter 8, Showing Power. The old man suddenly became excited. Girl, we have met a master. The incomplete and unique skills of my Liu family may be complete. What? What he said is true. The woman was shocked. Where is the master? The old man realized at this moment that the master had disappeared. As soon as Luo Yin finished breakfast, Qi Lao-san came to pick him up. Luo Yin greeted him and left. He also knows Qi Lao-san. Qin Yuanxian was surprised. Birds of a feather flocked together. Qin Muhan despised, but was actually very surprised. Don't talk about people behind their backs. Qin Dingbang glared at Qin Muhan. Looking at Qin Yuanxian, let Luo Yin go to work in the group, and he can go to any department he wants. If he wants to be the chairman, you give way to him. What? Qin Yuanxian almost dropped the bowl in his hand. Grandpa, he is an outsider. Qin Muhan was speechless. Why does Grandpa trust that scumbag so much? It's settled. Qin Dingbang got up and went upstairs. Qin Yuanxian looked unhappy. Qin Muhan was also very angry, but he didn't dare to say anything, for fear that his grandfather would be angry. He lowered his voice and said to Qin Yuanxian, Dad, let him go, don't make Grandpa angry. It's not easy to make him give up when he sees the difficulty. Qin Yuanxian smiled, you are so smart. Which department should I let him go to? Qin Muhan sneered, to the debt collection department. The group has a lot of debts that cannot be recovered. I dare say that within 3 days, he will have to leave. Good idea. Qin Yuanxian was happy. Zhu Jiruo looked at the father and son in silence and reminded them, the old man has never made a mistake. I'm just afraid that he won't be able to stump Luo Yin and will make the old man angry. Qin Muhan said disdainfully, a country bumpkin, besides knowing medicine and some boxing, I don't believe he knows business. Zhu Jiruo hesitated to speak, wanting to say that Luo Yin knew Qi Lao-san. In Qincheng, if Qi Lao-san showed up, who would dare not give him face? Isn't it too simple to ask for debts? But she was afraid that if she said it, her husband and daughter would think of other ways to bully their son-in-law. She didn't want to see a family in disharmony. Luo Yin finished treating Qi Yuman, came out of Qi's house, and asked Qi Lao-san, Lao-san, is there a quiet place with lush vegetation suitable for practicing? Qi Lao-san was delighted at the time, Master, are you going to teach me to practice? Luo Yin nodded, if he didn't teach, it would be too late. Qi Lao-san was so happy that he grinned, Master, we have one at home, in Erlangshan, Jiangbei, Qi's cemetery. Cemetery. Luo Yin almost fell to the ground. Qi Lao-san scratched his head, Master, my cemetery is very good, with beautiful mountains and clear waters, birds singing and flowers blooming, and the air is very good. The most important thing is that it is far away from the city, and no one will disturb it except ghosts. Luo Yin. Qi Lao-san, Master, you may not believe it, but in my cemetery, the ancestral graves will emit green smoke at night. Luo Yin was speechless, get out of the way, you are not a good person. Qi Lao-san was anxious, Master, if I lied to you, I would be your grandson. Luo Yin. When Luo Yin returned to the villa, Qin Yuanxiang and Qin Muhan had already gone to work. Qin Dingbang was sitting on the sofa, as if waiting for him. Grandson-in-law, I have already told Yuanxiang and Muhan that you will go to work at the group today. Okay. Luo Yin did not refuse. Seeing Luo Yin so happy, Qin Dingbang smiled. Jiruor, take Luo Yin to the garage and choose a car. There are 4 cars in the garage, except for a Dongfeng Mengsha, the rest are luxury cars. Luo Yin chose the Dongfeng Mengsha. Ju Jiruor, this is what Qin Muhan bought when he was practicing driving. You should change to a better one. The other 3 are spares, and they don't drive them either. Luo Yin, I like this car, it's grand. He thought, practicing with a car worth nearly $1 million is really a waste. Ju Jiruor didn't know what to say. Qin Muhan suddenly received a call from the old man, saying that Luo Yin went to the company. He also warned her not to bully Luo Yin. Qin Muhan gritted her teeth, if I didn't bully him, how could I drive him away? Thinking of last night, it was really embarrassing. Fortunately, this scumbag didn't dare to touch her. Otherwise, he would definitely be killed on the spot. After talking to the old man on the phone, Qin Muhan went straight to the debt collection department. The debt collection department has 8 idle people, and it's time for them to play a role. Today, we must give the scum a warning. These 8 people are the children of the Qin family and Zhu family, and they are all troublemakers. The debt collection department was established to find a way for these troublemakers to make a living, and they didn't expect them to really get their debts back. This is how wealthy families are. They can't let their relatives do nothing, hang around on the streets, and be laughed at. As soon as Qin Muhan walked to the door of the debt collection department, she heard the sound of mahjong inside. How can this be work? Qin Muhan frowned, feeling helpless and powerless. Grandpa can't do anything, let alone her. Bang! Kick the door open. The 7 men and 1 woman inside were startled, and they were relieved when they saw it was Qin Muhan. Is Sister Han here? Want to play a few rounds? Qin Muhan said with a dark face, Qin Qiani, a new guy will come soon, beat him up for me. The 8 devils were shocked. Although Qin Muhan looked cold, he was actually kind-hearted and virtuous. Usually, if they fought outside, they would be scolded. What happened today? A spirited and handsome young man patted his chest and assured, don't worry, Sister Han, we can't do other things, but we are good at this. Don't cripple him. Qin Muhan knew that the devils were good at fighting, and was afraid that Luo Yin would be crippled and he would not be able to explain to his grandfather. Qin Qiani, we are sure to hit him. Qin Muhan felt much more comfortable, as if he saw the scum with a bruised face and nose. Sister Han, who is he? Zhu Xiaoyu, who was wearing a short red leather jacket and leather pants and had a head of explosive red hair, asked curiously. Qin Muhan gritted his teeth, he is a scumbag. Remember, don't sell me out. If you can drive him away, each of you will be rewarded 10,000 yuan. If you can't drive him away, I will make things difficult for him every day and force him to leave. In short, let him get out as soon as possible. After saying that, he turned and left. 10,000. Thank you, Sister Han. I promise to complete the task. Several devils were so happy. Who is this? Why did you make my sister Han so angry? Zhu Xiaoyu looked gossipy. Qin Qiani, why do you care so much? Just make money. Stop playing, get ready to work. Several people quickly put away their mahjong. Luo Yin drove to Qin Group. The 2 security guards at the door stared at Luo Yin from a distance. They didn't know Luo Yin, but they knew this car. In the past, Qin Muhan always drove. Luo Yin got out of the car and walked to the security guard. I'm Qin Muhan's husband, I'm here to work. The security guard was shocked. Mr. Qin's husband. When did Mr. Qin get married? Dad. Dad. Just then, suddenly, 2 children, a boy and a girl, about 4 or 5 years old, rushed out from the side. They were dressed in rags and dirty. They ran up to him, one on the left and one on the right, and hugged Luo Yin's thighs. Luo Yin was startled. Little friend, did you recognize the wrong person? My child's father, I was wrong. For the sake of the child, please come back with me. Suddenly, a woman ran over, crying as she ran. Luo Yin was completely confused. What was going on? At this time, in a private club in Xincheng. In a separate room, there were several laptops. A young woman wearing a cartoon bathrobe, like a doll, suddenly walked out of the bathroom. While wiping her wet long hair, she looked at the computer screen. Har har har, third sister, come and see. Even the bad guys can be confused sometimes. Har har har, so funny. The woman suddenly shouted and laughed. The cartoon bathrobe was scattered, revealing her exquisite and graceful figure. What's wrong? A natural beauty with jade bones and ice skin ran out of the bathroom, and she didn't even have time to put on a bathrobe. Old 5, you are still very good at it. You have everything under control. The woman praised. Both women are charming and beautiful. Old 5 suddenly pouted her beautiful cherry red lips. Huh. It's okay if he doesn't want us, but he found a new lover so soon. Third sister, do you want to give him something more ruthless? The woman called third sister suddenly sighed. The long eyelashes with water drops trembled a few times, and the pretty face as crystal as jade showed bitterness. He is also a victim of the star of fate. We married him willingly. He divorced us for our own good. Without this marriage, we would have died long ago. It was him who has been helping us. If this Chin Muhan is really a noble person, it would have helped him. The fifth child looked at the third child strangely with his big black eyes. Third sister, then you still want me to monitor him? And find an actor to trick him? What if you break them up? The third child gritted his teeth. I just don't like seeing him remarry. The fifth child nodded vigorously. I don't like it either. I don't want to have another sixth child. Chapter 9. It really hurts. At the entrance of Chin Group. Sister, you recognized the wrong person. Luo Yin really didn't know them. The woman knelt down with tears. Dad, I really know I was wrong. I won't care about you anymore, okay? You can go out to eat, drink, gamble, beat me and scold me. I beg you, don't abandon me and the child. The child is still young and can't be without a father. The two children cried loudly at this moment. It was so heartbreaking. Luo Yin. The two security guards looked ugly and angry. This is a scumbag. What a good woman. Could it be that President Chin was deceived? Hurry up and report to President Chin Muhan. Sister, do you know my name? Doesn't Luo Yin know whether he recognizes them or not? Woman, your name is Luo Yin, and you are born in the year of the dragon. Today is your 25th birthday, August 15th. When we got married, it was snowing in July. Luo Yin understood everything and looked around. It was July when he married his ex-wife, the third wife, Xiao Zimo. Goose feathers fell from the sky in the hot summer. The master's face turned pale at that time, and he said, Luo Yin, you have harmed another good girl, you must double your compensation in the future. When Luo Yin's 5 ex-wives married him, there were strange phenomena from the sky. When he married the eldest wife, it was a cold winter, and it rained heavily. When he married the second wife, there was a solar eclipse. When he married the third wife, there was snowing in July. When he married the fourth wife, there was a lunar eclipse. When he married the fifth wife, it was the most terrifying. A beast tide that had not been seen in 1,000 years occurred in the Qingyan Mountains. Luo Yin looked for a long time, but did not see the figure of his ex-wife, the third wife. He smiled bitterly and looked up at the surveillance on the lintel. It must be the hackers, the fifth and the third, who were monitoring him. Old 5, Old 3, if this makes you happy, I, Luo Yin, will take over. Luo Yin said to the camera. Our third sister, we've been discovered by the big bad guy. Quick, let the actors leave. In the club, 2 women exclaimed. Dad, I'll wait for you at home, come back when you've had enough fun. The woman suddenly picked up the 2 children, and ran away as if she had received some orders. Luo Yin was even more certain that the surveillance cameras in the whole city were all controlled by Old 5. Old 3 and Old 5 must be together. Luo Yin was helpless. To be honest, among the 5 ex-wives, Luo Yin liked Old 5 the most, and Old 5 was just a silly and innocent girl. The security guards had finished their reports at this moment, but to their surprise, the order they received was to let them go. In the office, Chin Muhan smashed all her favorite water cups. It was so embarrassing that they were thrown to the group. She knew that Luo Yin had been married 5 times, and it was normal for him to have children. The key to the problem was that her grandfather was abnormal. She is a rich lady, a virgin, and she is going to marry a scum who has been divorced 5 times and has a child. Qin Muhan felt like she was going crazy, and she wanted to tear Luo Yin into pieces immediately. But she didn't dare to make her grandfather angry. As soon as Luo Yin walked into the door, he met a woman in a white shirt and a black skirt. "Mr. Luo, I am a front desk staff. Boss Qin asked to arrange for you to work as deputy director of the debt collection department, with a probation period of 3 months. During the probation period, the basic salary is 3,000, performance salary, and no subsidies. The debt collection department is responsible for the assessment, and those who pass will be hired, and those who fail will leave." The woman's attitude was cold. "This is the lowest salary ever, even the salary of the front desk is much higher than this." Obviously, this person has a distant relationship with Boss Qin's family. Boss Qin didn't want to arrange this person to come in, but he was embarrassed to refuse. "Please follow me." The woman led the way. Luo Yin understood it at that time. These days, the most difficult thing is to collect debts. Qin Yuanxiang and his daughter are making things difficult for him, trying to make him give up. The front desk took Luo Yin to the elevator and went straight to the 3rd floor. They sent him to the door of the debt collection department and left. The debt collection department was silent, but Luo Yin sensed that there were people inside. And there was murderous intent. Luo Yin smiled. This was to show me his power. Knocked on the door. No one answered. Knocked again, still no one answered. Luo Yin pushed the door open. He saw 8 people sitting behind 8 desks, 7 men and 1 woman. They were all staring at him. The desks were placed in a strange position, on both sides, with a large space in the middle. Luo Yin walked in. Looking around, he muttered, "No one? Then I'll wait. Are you blind? Can't you see so many people?" Zhu Xiaoyu scolded. "I was still wondering, is this a super nearsighted person?" "Who?" Luo Yin seemed to be startled. "Fuck. Are you pretending?" Qin Chenny was speechless. This guy did it on purpose. He is not a good guy at first glance. "Brothers, let's get him." The others also stood up and surrounded Luo Yin aggressively, ready to fight. Luo Yin smiled. This vacated space was prepared for him. Qin Chenny walked towards Luo Yin with a grim smile. "Get out of here if you know what's good for you. We don't welcome you here. We are a united team in the debt collection department. We don't want outsiders." Zhu Xiaoyu grinned and pretended to be fierce. Luo Yin closed the door with his heel. "It seems to hurt," Luo Yin said. Qin Chenny and others were stunned and didn't understand. The next second, they understood. Luo Yin suddenly moved. He was as fast as the wind. In a moment, 8 people squatted on the ground, holding their stomachs, sweating on their foreheads. "It really hurts. It hurt so much that I couldn't even scream. My name is Luo Yin, the new deputy director. During the probation period, I have the final say in the debt collection department. The director has to stand aside." Luo Yin glanced at the 8 people whose faces were purple. "If you don't say anything, I'll take it as your consent." Fuck. Several devils were almost mad to death. This guy is really a scumbag. It took a long time for several devils to recover. They were almost suffocated to death. At this time, their prestige had been beaten by Luo Yin, and they dared not be arrogant. A good man never suffers a loss in front of him. They all stood there in an orderly manner. Luo Yin looked at them calmly and didn't say anything. This made several devils feel uneasy. Was it Qin Muhan's idea? Luo Yin asked. "Brother, you are really observant." Qin Chenny almost shed tears. "I was afraid that this ruthless man would force them to ask who instructed them. Speak up, you are not righteous. If you don't speak up, you will definitely get beaten. It hurts so much." Luo Yin, pointing at the tables and chairs, "What are you putting there? Put them as I say." Under Luo Yin's command, the new layout was completed. Qin Chenny and the others were speechless. Is this an office? Isn't this a school? 2 rows horizontally, 2 rows vertically, and a desk opposite. It's just missing a blackboard. Luo Yin was very satisfied. Sitting behind the desk, he felt like a teacher. "Sit down, all of you are leaning crookedly. How can you be a student?" Luo Yin knocked on the table. The few devils were completely speechless. Did they really treat them as students? "Introduce yourself." Luo Yin said. Qin Chenyi was the first to speak. After listening to their introductions, Luo Yin said, "Do you have any questions for me?" Zhu Xiaoyu rubbed her belly. "What's the relationship between you and my sister Han?" Others looked at Luo Yin, wanting to know the answer. Luo Yin had no need to hide. "We've got the marriage certificate. What's the relationship?" "What?" Several devils were shocked. "How come we don't know? I haven't heard that my sister got married." Qin Chenyi asked in surprise. "Luo Yin, the old man is in poor health, so the wedding is postponed." Qin Chenyi and the others understood. "That makes sense." Qin Chenyi smiled flatteringly. "Brother-in-law, since we are all family, may I ask, how did you offend my sister?" "Brother-in-law?" Luo Yin was speechless. This guy changed quickly. Women, if their demands are too high, once they can't be satisfied, they will definitely have a temper. Luo Yin said, and several devils looked strange. Qin Chenyi suddenly patted his chest and said, "Brother-in-law, it's okay. We are all men, I understand you." Suddenly, he said to a tall and thin pretty boy, "Qin Feng, you have medicine, give me some." Qin Feng immediately took out a small blue bottle from his pocket with a righteous look on his face. "Brother-in-law, I have the third brother's magic oil, it works great." Fuck. Luo Yin was so upset at that time. What kind of people are these? "Brother-in-law, how much is your monthly salary?" Zhu Xiaoyu was a real gossip girl. Luo Yin, basic salary of 3,000, performance salary. Probation period of 3 months. Huh? Everyone was shocked. Qin Feng, brother-in-law, it seems that you are really weak. My sister is really angry. The basic salary of our team members is 10,000 yuan a month. Qin Chenyi, I am the director, 20,000 yuan a month. You, the deputy director, should at least have a monthly salary of 10,000 yuan even if you are in the probation period. Luo Yin was shocked. Damn, is the gap so big? Zhu Xiaoyu was curious, is Sister Han's demand so strong? Can't you see it? Qin Feng seemed very experienced. What do you know? The more cold and beautiful the beauty is, the higher the demand is. Luo Yin looked at these guys in surprise, talking without blushing. There is absolutely no good person among them. Suddenly, Qin Chenyi's cell phone rang. "Brother-in-law, my sister's call." Qin Chenyi didn't dare to answer. Chapter 10 President Qin likes scumbags. How dare Qin Chenyi answer Qin Muhan's call if he didn't take Luo Yin away? "Luo Yin, women need to be coaxed, just say whatever makes her happy." "Okay, brother-in-law, I understand." Qin Chenyi answered, "Sister Han. Where is the scumbag?" Qin Muhan asked. Qin Chenyi, he's kneeling in the corner. "Sister, I think it's not technical to drive him away immediately. We haven't had enough fun yet. It's better to keep him first and play him to death slowly." Qin Chenyi said, and glanced at Luo Yin's face. Seeing that his brother-in-law was not angry, he was relieved. Qin Muhan also felt that if he drove the scum away now, his grandfather would definitely be angry. "You can do whatever you want. But don't let him have it easy. Isn't there a Li Laolai? Let him go to collect the debt. If he doesn't come back, let him go." Qin Chenyi was shocked. Sister, that Li Laolai is a gangster. We have been beaten several times. Don't beat the scum to death. My grandfather said that the boy knows some kung fu and can take a beating. That's not right. He knows kung fu, how did you subdue him?" Qin Muhan suddenly thought. Although several devils often fight, they are not regular troops after all. Qin Chenyi thought, why didn't you say it earlier? If you said it earlier, we would have brought weapons. It seems that bringing weapons is also difficult. Sister, what can he do? I knocked him out with one punch. Qin Chenyi said, showing a proud look, as if it was true. Suddenly remembered Luo Yin, and quickly smiled at Luo Yin in a flattering way. Qin Muhan, sure enough, my grandfather was fooled by him. You go with him, just don't beat him to death. Sister. Hello. Qin Chenyi still wanted to try to change a deadbeat. As a result, Qin Muhan had hung up the phone. Brother-in-law, my sister asked us to go and collect the debt. Li is a big gangster, we can't beat him. Qin Chenyi looked at Luo Yin with a bitter face. Zhu Xiaoyu shuddered, with lingering fear, he and his men are so cruel, they even beat women. Halfway through, she shut up quickly. Because, this brother-in-law is also a cruel man who even beats women. Now, her stomach still hurts. Do you owe a lot of debts? Chin Chenny suddenly walked over and patted several people. The stomachs of several people stopped hurting immediately. They were all surprised, but more afraid. Chin Chenny, but there are quite a few, now there are still 28 deadbeats. So many? How many deadbeats were there before? Luo Yin returned to his seat. Chin Chenny, 28. Luo Yin was speechless. After all this time, you didn't get any of them back. Several devils hung their heads. Chin Chenny's old face turned red. Brother-in-law, since they want to owe the money, they don't want to pay it back. My sister and the chairman don't allow us to fight and kill. How can we get it back? Luo Yin nodded. That's the truth. Did Qin Muhan set a time? Chin Chenny shook his head. No, she knew she wouldn't come back. She just wanted you to get beaten up, and she was afraid that she would beat you to death, so she asked us to follow. Luo Yin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. His wife was really interesting. If we want it back, what will we get? Zhu Xiaoyu, brother-in-law, we can get commissions. The more you want, the more commissions you get. Luo Yin, how much is the total debt? Chin Chenny, a total of more than 50 million. The most is more than 9 million, and the least is hundreds of thousands. Zhu Xiaoyu, if you can get it back, the commission will be at least 5 million. Luo Yin, it's easy to collect debts. I don't want anything, the commission is all yours. Chin Chenny and his friends looked at Luo Yin like a fool. Is he daydreaming now? At this time, Qin Muhan was smiling in the office. The scum was beaten up by a few devils, and she felt very happy. The 2 days of depression were swept away. In a few days, let Chin Chenny and his friends create some trouble for the scum. I don't believe he won't leave. Qin Muhan packed up and prepared to attend her cousin's birthday party. Suddenly, the phone rang. It was Grandpa. Qin Muhan was in a big headache. No need to ask, she must be asked to take that scumbag with her. Sure enough. Luo Yin received Qin Muhan's call and did not refuse. Sooner or later, he would have to meet the relatives of the Qin family. Besides, someone threatened the Qin family, and he should really protect his wife. Do what you should do. Your sister and I are going to attend Chen Ruoqing's birthday party. Luo Yin stood up. Aren't you going? Qin Chenny, we don't have a good relationship with her. That family is all snobs. Outside the gate of the group, a white Porsche 911 was already in place. The 2 security guards stared at the scumbag Luo Yin in amazement, and got into Qin Muhan's special car and drove away. My heart was already in turmoil. Fuck. Boss Qin actually likes scumbags? If I had known, we would have been scumbags long ago. Along the way, Qin Muhan ignored Luo Yin. Luo Yin didn't make himself bored, took out his mobile phone and played games. The sound was very loud. Qin Muhan, who was driving, really wanted to die with the scum. What era is it now? He is actually playing Snake. There are many restaurants in Qincheng, but the Qi family restaurant is very popular, and many people come to support the richest man Qi. Luo Yin followed the angry Qin Muhan to the 666 private room on the 3rd floor. The door was ajar, and the laughter of men and women came from inside. Qin Muhan pushed the door open, and it was quiet inside. Cousin. A beautiful woman in a white princess dress rushed up and hugged Qin Muhan. Happy birthday. Qin Muhan seemed to dote on this cousin and scratched her nose. This is my cousin Qin Muhan, how is it? I didn't lie to you, is she more beautiful than me? Chen Ruoqing showed off to the people in the room. Muhan. Suddenly, a young man stood up, wearing a custom-made khaki suit, handsome and elegant. Looking at Qin Muhan with fiery eyes. Qin Muhan nodded slightly. Mr. Shu. Are you that scum? Chen Ruoqing suddenly found Luo Yin and exclaimed, Cousin, why did you bring him here? Look at what he is wearing, it's actually a few hundred yuan of clothes. Everyone looked at Luo Yin behind Qin Muhan. Luo Yin was speechless. A few hundred yuan of clothes, and was looked down upon. Grandpa asked him to come. Qin Muhan looked very aggrieved. Happy birthday, cousin. How could Luo Yin be so petty as to be like a commoner? Who is your cousin? You are not welcome here, get out. Chen Ruoqing seemed to have been greatly insulted. Luo Yin. Since he is Mu Han's husband, how can you chase him away? Mr. Xu politely and gentlemanly extended his hand. Hello, my name is Xu Xiefeng. Luo Yin. Luo Yin shook hands with him lightly. Chen Ruoqing despised Luo Yin. Look at him, then look at you. Luo Yin was speechless. I didn't say anything and didn't do anything, okay? What's wrong with me? Do you think he is a good person? Chapter 11, No Longer a Gentleman. Brother, come and sit here. Xu Xiefeng was very enthusiastic. Just as Luo Yin was about to walk over, Chen Ruoqing took Qin Muhan and took the lead. Cousin, sit here. She pushed Qin Muhan to Xu Xiefeng's side and sat on the other side. Qin Muhan didn't want to sit with the scum, so she sat down. This time, in addition to celebrating her cousin's birthday, she wanted to get closer to the Xu family. Now the Mu family wants to swallow up the Qin group, and the Qin family needs help. Luo Yin didn't mind and sat down casually at the seat at the door. However, the seats on both sides of him were empty and no one sat there. It seemed that he was a plague god, as if he was contagious. Where is Mr. Luo doing well? Xu Xiefeng asked with a smile. Before Luo Yin said anything, Chen Ruoqing said first, he is in the Qin group. If it weren't for Grandpa's pity for you, how could you have this opportunity? Oh? What is Mr. Qin's position? Xu Xiefeng seemed to be very concerned about this. This made Luo Yin alert. Luo Yin, Deputy Director of the Debt Collection Department. TSK. Chen Ruoqing laughed at that time. Sister, you are really amazing. Let him hang out with those guys. Ruoqing. Qin Muhan glared at Chen Ruoqing, as if afraid that Luo Yin would know. Xu Xiefeng seemed relieved and ignored Luo Yin. Muhan, I heard that Qin group encountered troubles in listing. Xu Xiefeng looked at Qin Muhan with burning eyes. Qin Muhan's pretty face blushed. The richest family in Jiangju, the Mu family, has snatched many projects that should belong to our Qin family, resulting in a decline in efficiency and valuation, which has affected the listing plan. My father is trying to find a way. Sister, Xiefeng said that he can help you. Chen Ruoqing blinked at Qin Muhan. Xu Xiefeng, dealing with the Mu family is a piece of cake. Suddenly he was proud. The third son of the Qi family and I have a very good relationship, as close as one person. It would be easier if the Qi family came forward. That's great. Qin Muhan was overjoyed. If we can get rid of the Mu family, the Qin group will be one step closer to listing. Xu Xiefeng, listing is actually very simple, I can help you. Qin Muhan was surprised, really? Xu Xiefeng, the Xu group has been listed. You can invest in the Qin group to increase the valuation of the Qin group. It will be listed soon. So simple. Qin Muhan seemed unbelievable. She really didn't expect that Mr. Xu would actually offer to help. Chen Ruoqing smiled mischievously. Sister, how are you thanking Xiefeng? Are you going to pledge yourself to him? Qin Muhan's pretty face flushed. Luo Yin really couldn't stand it anymore. They were really two stupid women. He saw that Chen Ruoqing really liked Xu Xiefeng. In order to please, he actually wanted to send his cousin to the tiger's mouth. Of course, he also saw that Chen Ruoqing didn't understand business management, and simply wanted to use his cousin to please this Mr. Xu. And it seemed that Qin Muhan didn't dislike this Mr. Xu. This won't do, Qin Muhan is his wife. Mr. Xu, you are very ambitious. Luo Yin suddenly said. Everyone was stunned by Luo Yin's words and looked at him. Xu Xiefeng's face changed slightly. Why do you say that, Mr. Luo? I'm helping Muhan. Chen Ruoqing glared at Luo Yin. Do you have the right to speak here? If it weren't for Mr. Xu, would you be able to sit here? Get out if you don't want to stay. Qin Muhan was also angry, thinking, you and Qi Lao-san are so good, but you didn't help me. Luo Yin, you don't have to worry about my family's affairs. Luo Yin smiled lightly. Qin Muhan, you don't have the final say. Grandpa said that I have the final say in everything of the group. Xu Xiefeng's face changed drastically, but he quickly covered it up. He was very surprised to hear Chen Ruoqing say that Luo Yin had no money or power, but only some medical skills. Because he cured the old man of the Qin family, he was appreciated and recognized the marriage contract, otherwise, it would be impossible to register for marriage with Qin Muhan. How could he have such great power? If Luo Yin didn't mention his grandfather, Qin Muhan would not be very angry. When she thought of the grandfather who had always spoiled her since this scumbag came, she was furious. Mr. Luo, it's okay if you can't help, but you still question Mr. Shu. Don't think that you want to occupy my family property just because you registered with me. We are not husband and wife, and we can divorce at any time. If you can kill with your eyes, Luo Yin would have been killed several times by Qin Muhan at this moment. Xu Xiafeng was overjoyed. Qin Muhan was still a virgin. Luo Yin ignored the two silly girls and looked at Xu Xiafeng. You'd better not set your sights on the Qin group. Otherwise, I'm afraid you can't bear the consequences. The method Xu Xiafeng mentioned is actually a backdoor listing. It means placing the assets of non-listed companies into listed companies. That is, the Qin group will be incorporated into the Shu group. Moreover, the Shu group must be the major shareholder. In this way, the Qin group, which was originally the only one, has become a subsidiary of the Shu group. What's the difference between this and plundering? This Mr. Shu has an impure purpose. Mr. Luo, are you threatening me? Xu Xiafeng sneered. He thought, a small person, I don't believe you really know the tricks here. Luo Yin also sneered, how dare I? Xu Xiafeng turned to look at Qin Muhan. Muhan, I sincerely want to help you. Since your husband doesn't trust me, just pretend I didn't say anything. Luo Yin frowned slightly. This person is playing hard to get, very insidious. Luo Yin, shut up. I don't know why my grandfather trusts you so much. But this is our Qin family's industry, and it has nothing to do with you. My grandfather's empty words don't count. Qin Muhan was so angry that he finally got the opportunity to go public, but it was ruined by this scumbag. Chen Ruoqing suddenly stood up, pointed to the door, and her pretty face was furious. Mr. Luo, today is my birthday party, I don't welcome you, get out now. Luo Yin stood up slowly and glanced at Qin Muhan. Silly girl, be more careful. Don't pretend to know if you don't understand. People sold you out, and you are still counting money for them. Get out. Qin Muhan picked up the empty wine glass in front of him and smashed it at Luo Yin angrily. Xu Xiafeng suddenly stretched out his hand as if to stop him. Luo Yin's eyes suddenly shrank. He actually poisoned Qin Muhan. Xu Xiafeng took the opportunity to throw a small red pill into Qin Muhan's red wine glass. Luo Yin waved his hand. How could it be so coincidental? Bang! The wine glass hit Xu Xiafeng's forehead. It broke with a snap. Fortunately, it only broke. Xu Xiafeng suddenly became prominent, and a big bump appeared on his forehead. At this time, he was no longer a gentleman. Angry. You dare to hit me? Standing up, picking up a stool, he walked towards Luo Yin aggressively. Everyone watched with gloating. Even Qin Muhan. Luo Yin looked at Xu Xiafeng jokingly. If this hypocrite dared to take action, he would dare to make him useless on the spot. Xu Xiafeng swung the chair and was about to hit Luo Yin. Luo Yin was ready to give him a heavy hammer and let him lie down for half a year. Half a year is enough for him to help the Qin group and clean up the Shu family. The Shu family dared to poison Mr. Qin and Qin Muhan, which is unforgivable. But, bang! Suddenly, a long leg stretched out from Luo Yin's side. The big foot kicked Xu Xiafeng's chest. Xu Xiafeng screamed and flew out, hitting the wall. As he slid down, a mouthful of blood spurted out. Xu Xiafeng, who gave you the courage to hit my master? Qi Lao-san rushed up and punched and kicked. Everyone was stunned. Luo Yin, Lao-san, he said that he has a good relationship with you like a person. Qi Lao-san, what a bullshit, just listen to him bragging. Who is he? Everyone was a little dumbfounded at this moment. This Mr. Shu, it turns out that he is bragging? Qi Lao-san didn't stop beating him while talking. Xu Xiafeng was beaten so hard that he cried like a ghost. Third brother, I didn't know he was your master. Xu Xiafeng held his head, very surprised. Luo Yin was actually Qi Lao-san's master? If it was someone else, would you bully him? Qi Lao-san's big fist was like a hammer, almost smashing Xu Xiafeng to pieces. Xu Xiafeng knew that Qi Lao-san was a bully who would fight to his death. Usually, he never dared to provoke him. At this moment, he hated Luo Yin in his heart. Luo Yin suddenly walked to Qin Muhan and picked up the glass of red wine. Third brother, he poisoned your sister-in-law in the wine, what should we do? Others were shocked. Qin Muhan couldn't believe it. Xu Xiafeng was shocked. How did he know? I'll beat him to death. Qi Lao-san was furious. Xu Xiafeng was beaten so badly that blood gushed out of his nose and mouth. Stop it. Qin Muhan was furious. Luo Yin, your method of framing is too despicable. Luo Yin knew that no one would believe him except his stupid apprentice. I framed him? Lao-san, let him drink it and see the effect. Qi Lao-san took the wine glass, pinched Xu Xiafeng's chin, and poured it into him. Chapter 12 We Surrender. Xu Xiafeng's face changed drastically. Luo Yin, you actually poisoned me. Luo Yin frowned. This guy is really insidious. Luo Yin, you are too despicable. Qin Muhan stood up and left angrily. Luo Yin sighed. What a silly girl. Xu Xiafeng, don't ignore my words. Old Third, go, send your sister-in-law back. Qi Old Third kicked Xu Xiafeng in the end. If you do it again, I will fucking cripple you. Qin Muhan didn't wait for Luo Yin at all. The Porsche sped all their way. Luo Yin drove Qi Old Third's Pagani and followed closely behind. Master, how did Xu Xiafeng offend you? Qi Old Third was curious. Luo Yin didn't hide it from his silly apprentice. Qi Lao-san, Master, although I dare to beat Xu Xiafeng, it is a matter between young people after all, not too serious, and parents will basically not ask. After all, wealthy families will give face to the other family. But, if you want to kill the Xu family, it's not easy. The history of the Xu family's rise is very dirty, and there is someone on the road supporting them. That person is a very powerful man. Oh. Luo Yin really didn't know how powerful. Qi Lao-san, Qincheng's famous old gun, Jin Daer. Luo Yin, hold on. Pagani suddenly accelerated. Scared Qi Lao-san, and he quickly grabbed the handle. At this moment, a black Bugatti 300, which was originally in the first lane, suddenly inserted into the third lane, quickly surpassed Pagani, and was parallel to the Porsche. Suddenly, the left rear window of the Bugatti opened, and a black spray pipe with a silencer stretched out. Bugatti 300 is one of the fastest sports cars at present. For turbocharged, 8-liter W16 engine, with a maximum output power of 1,600 horsepower. Just now, Luo Yin didn't see when it caught up, which shows how fast it is. However, Pagani is not bad either. The key is that Luo Yin's driving skills perfectly demonstrate Pagani's top configuration. Bang! Pagani came from behind and caught up with Bugatti. The front of the car hit Bugattis but hard. Bang! The sound of the spray gun sounded almost at the same time. But because Bugatti was hit, the muzzle was deflected and the bullet was sprayed upwards. The silencer eliminated most of the sound well. The traffic was noisy and no one paid attention. Because of the collision, Bugatti rushed forward and accelerated away. At this moment, Qi Lao-san was still in shock. He saw the spray gun tube and bullets coming out of the gun with his own eyes. If it wasn't for the master driving, if he was driving, my sister-in-law would definitely be finished. Qi Lao-san was furious. Master, I remember the license plate. Luo Yin, fake. Do you know anyone from the traffic police? Check the surveillance video. Qi Lao-san, I know him. Hurry up and call. Luo Yin has been escorting Qin Muhan, who didn't know he had saved his life, back to the Qin family. Watching Qin Muhan go in, he didn't follow him back, but turned the car around and left. Master, it must be Xu Xiafeng's revenge. That Bugatti went to Jinhui Entertainment City. The owner is Huang Mao, Jin Daer's right-hand man. Qi Lao-san has already obtained the whereabouts and information of Bugatti. Luo Yin, go meet Jin Daer. How could Luo Yin stand by and watch if he wanted to kill his wife? He must solve it as soon as possible. Master, are we going alone? Should I call more people? Qi Lao-san's face turned pale. Jin Daer is a tough guy, he has many followers. Luo Yin was very calm. It's not the two of us. Qi Lao-san breathed a sigh of relief. I knew Master was not so stupid as to try to hit a rock with an egg. Luo Yin, I'll go alone. Gar. Qi Lao-san was almost scared to death. Suddenly he gritted his teeth. Master, I'll go with you. Although we were not born on the same day, we can die on the same day. Drive slowly, I have to say goodbye to my parents. He took out his cell phone and was about to make a call. Luo Yin. The silly disciple is really loyal. Luo Yin, you calling will only make them more worried. It's better to wait until you die, and they will suffer only once. Qi Lao-san nodded vigorously. Master, you are still smart. Luo Yin. Jinhui Entertainment City is magnificent. The Bugatti is openly parked in the parking lot. This shows how arrogant Jin Daer is in Qincheng. Suddenly, Qi Lao-san pointed at one of the cars. Master, look, that black Koenigsegg is Xu Xiefeng's sports car. Is he here too? He's not poisoned. Does he have an antidote? Luo Yin, Jinhui Entertainment City is the antidote. Qi Lao-san understood. Jinhui Entertainment City has all kinds of legal and illegal entertainment projects. In the general manager's office, behind the high-grade mahogany desk, sat a thin old man. He had a sly look and fierce eyes. A custom-made white suit, worn on him, looked funny no matter how he looked at it. A emerald green top-grade jadeite guanine pendant hung around his neck. In his left hand, he turned a golden top-grade amber beeswax ring. In his right hand, he played with an 18i top-grade Z bead. In front of him stood a strong man with a head of yellow hair, a face full of flesh, and a fierce look. He also held a single-barreled old hunter in his hand. Xu Xiefeng, with a bruised face, sat on the sofa. Xu Xiefeng was very angry at the moment. Failed. You can't even handle such a small matter. My family gives you so much money every year to let you protect us. Is this how you protect me? The yellow-haired man's face changed, and he turned his head to look at Xu Xiefeng. Xu Xiefeng shuddered with fear and quickly shut up. The old man smiled sinisterly, revealing a big golden tooth. Mr. Xu, this is an accident. I will handle it. The voice was hoarse. Xu Xiefeng, I want the result now. Jin Daer said calmly, Mr. Xu, since you promised to give me half of the Qin group, I will help you to the end. I will help you kill Qi Lao-san again as compensation, how about that? Xu Xiefeng was happy when he heard it, and that Luo Yin? Jin Daer didn't mind Xu Xiefeng's push. Okay. He's just a doctor, it's a matter of stealing. You, look down on doctors. Suddenly a lazy voice came from the door. At some point, two people appeared at the open door. Jin Daer and the other two were startled by the sudden voice and looked at the door. Who are you? How did you get up here? Jin Daer didn't know these two people. He was unhappy. How could his men guard it? How could anyone come up here casually? He must have gone to pick up girls again. A new batch of girls came yesterday. Swish. Xu Xiefeng jumped up. Qi Lao-san, Luo Yin. Mr. Jin, kill them. Jin Daer heard that it was the real boss. Without a word of nonsense, he waved his hand. Wang Mao, kill them, quickly. After that, he leaned back in the boss chair and watched like a play. Xu Xiefeng was murderous, looking at Qi Lao-san and Luo Yin fiercely. I was looking for you, but I didn't expect you to come to me on your own initiative. You really don't take the road to heaven, and you come in when there is no door to hell. Jin Daer glanced at this young man speechlessly. You don't go to tell stories, your eloquence is wasted. At this time, Luo Yin asked Qi Lao-san as if no one was around, did you see it clearly? Qi Lao-san scratched his head. Master, it was too fast, I didn't see it clearly. But, I remember the acupuncture points. Luo Yin nodded. Just remember it, practice diligently in the future, practice makes perfect. Yes, master. Qi Lao-san looked at Wang Mao with burning eyes. Master, it seems that the effect is quite slow. Luo Yin, you have to give him time to reverse the blood. He is a martial artist, and his resistance is higher than that of ordinary people. Otherwise, it will take effect immediately. Jin Daer and Xu Xiefeng looked at Luo Yin and Qi Lao-san as if they were monsters. I really don't understand, how can they still have the mind to chat when they are about to die? What are they talking about? Why can't I understand? Besides, these two dying people actually walked in slowly without knowing whether to live or die. Suddenly, Wang Mao picked up the old hunter and aimed it at Qi Lao-san. Swish! Qi Lao-san hid behind Luo Yin in an instant. Master, teach me how to dodge bullets. Luo Yin. Luo Yin looked at Wang Mao and said calmly, Wang Mao, the person you want to kill is behind you. Kill him and you will be Jin who is boss. Har har har. Jin Daer suddenly laughed. Boy, where did you learn this trick of sowing discord? All of my subordinates are loyal, har har har. The laughter has not yet died. Swish. Wang Mao suddenly turned around, and the old hunter pointed his gun at Jin Daer. Jin Daer's laughter stopped abruptly, and the sky beads in his hand fell to the ground in fear. Jin Daya looked at Wang Mao in shock. Wang Mao, are you crazy? You dare to point the gun at me, do you want to live? Chapter 13 Master is going crazy. Xu Xiafeng was also shocked. At this moment, Wang Mao looked painful, as if he was struggling and resisting some mysterious power in his body. Jin Daya discovered Wang Mao's abnormality at this moment and felt bad. I don't know how his capable man could become like this. He saw that Wang Mao's hands were shaking, and his finger had already pulled the trigger. Jin Daya quietly opened the drawer and grabbed the loaded gun. There was also a silencer on the gun tube. Suddenly raised it, without hesitation, pointed it at Wang Mao's heart and pulled the trigger. Strike first. No one is more important than his life in the face of life and death crisis. Perhaps his behavior stimulated Wang Mao. Almost at the same time. Bang! The old hunter in Wang Mao's hand also sprayed bullets. Plop! Wang Mao fell to the ground first, and blood gushed out from his heart. Jin Daya sat in the boss chair, his eyes wide open, his face frozen with an expression of disbelief. There was a black hole between his eyebrows. R. Xu Xiafeng was stunned for a few seconds, then suddenly screamed and fainted. He had never seen such a scene before. Qi Lao-san also trembled, he had never seen such a scene before. Master, you are really amazing. You just gave Wang Mao a needle, and you killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Luo Yin's face turned red. This was beyond his expectations, okay? He didn't expect that Jin Daya and Wang Mao would die together. The silencer is really a good thing, and no one in the club came up to check. Master, Xu Xiafeng is a witness, he can't stay. Qi Lao-san's eyes were fierce. Luo Yin suddenly smiled bitterly. Lao-san, we surrender. As he said, he raised his hands first. Qi Lao-san didn't understand. What's wrong, master? Why do you want to surrender? To whom do you want to surrender? Luo Yin, don't hesitate. Qi Lao-san was puzzled, but he had to listen to the master's words and quickly raised his hands. Har har har. Just then, a hoarse laugh sounded. Jin Daya is not dead. Qi Lao-san was shocked. This voice is definitely Jin Daya's. But Jin Daya was shot in the eyebrow and was sitting on the chair. His face was pale, he must be dead. Puff puff puff. The surrounding walls and ceilings suddenly opened up countless small holes, and more than a dozen black gun barrels stretched out, aiming at Luo Yin and Qi Lao-san. At this moment, Qi Lao-san understood why the master asked him to surrender. If he didn't surrender, he would definitely be shot into a sieve. Suddenly, the wall behind Jin Daya cracked, revealing a door. Par par par. Behind the door, the sound of applause suddenly rang out. A little old man who looked exactly like the dead Jin Daya came out. With a smile on his face, he bared his big gold teeth and looked at Luo Yin with admiration. Qi Lao-san was stunned. To Jin Daya. I didn't expect that the doctor would kill people more cruelly than us, and his methods were so clever. Luo Yin had a blank expression. I still haven't played with you, an old fox. The little old man sighed, thinking back then. Luo Yin suddenly interrupted him. Old thing, don't nag, my arms are sore. Gar. Qi Lao-san almost fell to the ground. At this time, under so many guns, the master dared to scold the little old man. The master was going crazy. But the little old man laughed, and seemed very satisfied that Luo Yin was afraid. Har har har, Mr. Luo, I didn't expect that you would be afraid sometimes. Luo Yin glared. Nonsense, no matter how good your martial arts skills are, you are afraid of bullets, not to mention so many spray guns. Hurry up, don't wait for me to get angry. The old man shuddered and quickly ordered, everyone retreat. All the muzzles disappeared. Master knows him. Qi Lao-san was surprised and relieved. His legs were so weak. Jin Daya, you are rebel. You even dare to scare me. Luo Yin suddenly rushed up and punched and kicked the old man. The old man's nose and mouth were bleeding, but he smiled comfortably. Try harder, just a little bit more. Qi Lao-san was completely confused. Bang! Luo Yin slapped the old man's chest with his last slap. Wow! The old man vomited blood. The blood was actually black and smelly. So comfortable. The old man smiled. Luo Yin stopped. Did he poison you? The old man looked sad. We are from the same root, why are you so anxious to hurt each other? Originally, I also wanted to hand Jinhui to him, but he was too impatient. Luo Yin also sighed, the greatest sorrow in life is fratricide. Brother Luo, you miss me so much. The old man wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and suddenly opened his arms affectionately. Get out of the way, it's so dirty. Luo Yin dodged. Hee hee. The old man smiled flatteringly, brother, it's a good thing you came. Otherwise, I would have died of poison in another 7 days. This poison can only be resolved by true qi. I secretly found many masters, but those with true qi don't know medical skills, and those who know medical skills don't have true qi. Luo Yin, you are so bad, even the king of hell doesn't dare to take you. Hee hee hee. The old man smiled proudly. The old man pointed at Xu Xiefeng, what did you do with him? Luo Yin, let him go. He still has some value, keep him for fun. He also wanted Qin Muhan to see Xu Xiefeng's true face. It's a pity to kill him like this. The old man had a look of understanding, but was very curious, how big is the grudge? You want to kill him slowly. Luo Yin, he is thinking about my wife, tell me, is this grudge big? The old man's body shook, but still said, big, big. This grudge is bigger than the sky. Qi Lao San. This is also called a big grudge. But, I have understood that, in fact, the master has known this old man for a long time, and this old man is the real Jin Dea. The two of them are pretending so much. Luo Yin suddenly looked at the old man with dissatisfaction, Jin Dea, you are so mean. Your brother sent someone to kill my wife, and you didn't even inform me in advance. Jin Dea laughed and said, what can stump brother Luo? You have to deal with the aftermath, I'm leaving. Luo Yin turned and left. Brother, don't leave. Today is a big day, I have countless beauties here, why don't you two stay and play? Qi Lao San's eyes lit up at that time, are there any foreign horses? Par. Qi Lao San was slapped on the back of his head. Luo Yin, hurry up and follow me. Qi Lao San was very disappointed, looking back every 3 steps, reluctant to leave. The old man blinked at Qi Lao San, you are my brother's apprentice, come often in the future, the whole trip is free. Qi Lao San grinned, Mr. Jin, you are so handsome. Crap. Luo Yin kicked Qi Lao San over with 1 foot, almost kicking him to death. How can you say that? Jin Dea had his brother's body carried into the door and waited for the night to deal with it. After the door was closed, he stepped forward and pinched the Ren Zhong to wake Xu Xiefeng up. Xu Xiefeng groaned and opened his eyes. Suddenly he saw Jin Dea. Ghost. Gar. Frightened and fainted again. Jin Dea laughed, with your appearance, you dare to provoke my brother Luo. You deserve to be played to death. Par. A slap woke Xu Xiefeng up. Xu Xiefeng woke up again, and saw Jin Dea, and was about to faint again. Jin Dea said viciously, if you dare to faint again, I will bury you alive. Xu Xiefeng looked at Jin Dea in horror, and suddenly fell to his knees and kowtowed, Master Jin, I shouldn't be arrogant and disrespectful to you, I deserve to die. You are Prime Minister, you can hold a boat in your stomach, but you treat me as a fart, right? Don't take me away. Jin Dea. Open your dog eyes and look, I'm not dead. Touch it, I'm still warm. He grabbed Xu Xiefeng's trembling hand. Not dead. Xu Xiefeng was shocked, Jin Dea's hand was warm. I saw it with my own eyes, you sprayed in your eyebrows. Xu Xiefeng was stunned. Jin Dea sneered, you are wrong, I killed the traitor Huang Mao. Xu Xiefeng also believed that he was wrong at this moment. Otherwise, how could Jin Dea be alive and kicking in front of him? Huang Mao is dead. Xu Xiefeng glanced at the yellow-haired man lying in a pool of blood, and his hair stood on end. Luo Yin and Qi Lao San are dead too. Jin Dea, they took advantage of the chaos and ran away. Run away. Xu Xiefeng was very surprised, thinking that Qi Lao San and Luo Yin would definitely die. Master Jin, you must kill them both, you promised me. Par. Suddenly Master Jin slapped Xu Xiefeng hard. Are you teaching me how to do things? Jin Dea stared with his eyes wide open, for you, I lost a general, you must give me an explanation today. Chapter 14 Mantis stalks the cicada. Xu Xiefeng covered his face and looked at Jin Dea in horror. In the past, Jin Dea was very polite to him. Mr. Jin, Huang Mao is a traitor. What does it have to do with me if you kill him? Ask him if it's your business. Jin Daer suddenly kicked Xu Xiefeng to the ground.